Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Network management, network address translation part 3. We are going to discuss the port address translation type 3 of NAT in this lecture. Port address translation PAT is also known as NAT overload. This is the most effective type of NAT because many local IP addresses can be translated to a single public IP addresses. Mean if you are a network administrator and you want to configure your NAT FAT, port address translation will be your option for organizations, and it distinguish every IP address from every another IP address with using a port number. Like DSL, there are a lot of DSL having this, all DSL having the same IP addresses. So how the same IP is going to distinguish between the same IP addresses within local DSLs? So port number is used to distinguish between IP addresses. So it is cost effective because thousands of users can be connected to internet by using a single public IP address. Like this is the inside the local IP addresses. Here the local network 10.10.10.1.2.3 and so on, and this will be the only IP address 63.63.63.1. so every IP address AT mean it is browsing any of the websites, so it will be translated to the single public IP address, but the port number will be different, so that to identify the systems within the same networks. Port address translation will work like this. Now for configuration of port address translation, to configure the port address translation, the following command is needed. You need to show the router the inside of the interface, the outside of that interface, and you need an access list like in a dynamic NAT, which consists of inside source addresses. Then you need to enable the dynamic NAT using this command ipnet inside source list, which will be the access list number which you created in step number 3, and interface type and the keyword overloaded. So we are going to configure the port address translation using packet tracer. Suppose these are the systems, the same configuration 10.0.0.2.3.4. this will be 10.0.0.1 in except the public IP will be only 4.4.4.1, and this will be the system of IP address 4.4.4.10. that one will be the now how we are going to configure this router using PAT. For this we need to enable configuration terminal interface gigabit 00. this is the 00 having IP address 10.0.0.1 255.0.0.0 and no shut down. Exit interface gigabit 01 having IP address 4.4.4.1 and 255.0.0.0 and no shutdown. The first step, we need to show the NAT the inside and outside of the NAT. So interface gigabit 00 is the IP NAT inside. This is the inside of the network. I show the NAT inside of my network. Now exit interface gigabit 01 01 is the IPNet outside of the my network is gigabit 01. This is the step number 2. Now step number 3, I need to create an access list. We name him 1 and permit 10.0.0.0 and 0.255.255.2. hit enter. This is the access list. Now we need to enable the NAT, IP NAT inside source list. The source list is 1 will be mapped to interface gigabit 01 and loaded. Enter. So it is been configured. The port address translation of NAT. Now we need to check whether it is been configured well or not. First one may be in progress and failed, but the second in progress failed. First one successful. VPN is a packet tracer because the first time it will show failed and the second time it will show successful. This successful and successful. Now the packet has been sent. Now we need to see the NAT table. For this, type exit, show IPNet translation. This is the IPNet translation. This is the inside global. Inside global will be only one IP 4.4.4.1 and the inside local, the system number 2, the system number 2 with port number 11, it is been mapped to 11. System number 4 with port number 11 mapped to 1024. System number 2 with port 14 is mapped to 14. System number 3 with port 8 mapped to 8, and it is being requested to this server. So on many IP address, thousands of IP address can be mapped with one public IP address. So this is all about the network address translation.